to. We're going to take you around our studio lot, show you where we actually make movies and TV shows and commercials and music videos and promotional videos.
All right, guys, I want you to look over there to your left, wave goodbye to all those people still waiting in line. Bye, everyone. We are leaving the theme park behind. We're heading off on our Hollywood adventure. We're going to cover some safety rules really quick. First, if you need any guest assistance, if you have a medical emergency, you drop something of value off the side of the tram, there's any kind of audio, visual problem, reach up, pull the red emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is private property. If you drop your phone or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the red cord and remain seated on the tram. There's no smoking of any kind allowed in the tour. Be prepared. Today's tour will feature loud sounds, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and the possibility of getting wet to protect your cameras. And finally, for your safety and those around you, do not use selfie sticks. Here to kick things off is our master of ceremonies, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Fallon. Welcome aboard the world famous studio tour. I know what you're thinking. Why the tux? Well, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. That's right, 60 years of glitz, glamour, and our own great white shark. As we celebrate our diamond anniversary today, we'll pay tribute to Universal's past and take you behind the scenes to discover why this studio tour is world famous. So whether this is your first visit or your 60th, get ready for fun, excitement, and an experience like no other.
Thank you, Jimmy. That's right. We are celebrating our 60th anniversary this year. But our story actually starts more than 100 years ago. March 15th, 1915. That is when our founder, Carl Laemmle, invited the public onto the lot to watch silent movies being made. Yes, walk from set to set, marvel at the new technology involved in filmmaking. But with the invention of sound and the need for quiet on set, the original walking tour ended. In the 1960s, under the leadership of company chairman Lou Wasserman, executives outdoors chased down the idea of reviving a tour. The studio returned when the Gray Line bus tours originating in Hollywood made a stop right here at our gates. And on July 15th, 1964, the first of our red and white candy-striped glamour trams took 67 passengers on a 2-hour driving tour of the Universal lot, and the world-famous studio tour was born. We started out with 2 drivers, 2 guides, 1 ticket seller working out of a trailer on Lake Ocean Boulevard. From there, the studio tour expanded to include fantastic, one-of-a-kind Hollywood elements like the burning house, the rock slide, which were in this area of the lot in the 70s and 80s. Today, you are riding on the newest version of the tour vehicle, the electric tram, as we continue our commitment to a zero-emission studio tour event.
I'm proud to announce that Universal Studios Hollywood is converting the world-famous studio tour trams to become electric vehicles. As these trams roll out, guests will be experiencing all the movie-making action propelled by the latest energy-efficient technology. Now, this is just one example of NBC Universal's and Comcast's commitment to becoming carbon neutral by 2035, helping us all take another step toward reducing our carbon footprint. So, welcome aboard for an awesome experience that's also awesome for the environment.
It is awesome. Thank you, Al. Well, we are heading on to the front lot right now. The front lot is where we have most of our sound stages. We have 36 sound stages. The sound stages are where they film some of the interior scenes to some of your favorite television shows, movies. Stage 12 to your left is our oldest and biggest sound stage, and it is the birthplace of the monster movie. That's right, that's where classic films like Dracula and Frankenstein film. That's also where huge blockbuster movies like Back to the Future and Jurassic Park filmed all those years ago. As we head onto the front lot, we are driving in between the studio to your left and the theme park to your right. To your right is the newest area of the theme park. It's called Super Nintendo World, home to Mario and Luigi. And many years ago, this area of the park was where guests first had the opportunity to explore facets of Hollywood that were not accessible to the public before 1964. In the 60s and 70s, they could step into the office of Oscar-winning costume designer Edith Head, drive through the Pop Warehouse. By the 1980s, it was our preview center, home to our special effects stage show. On your left-hand side, you can actually see inside some of the sound stages, some of the sets inside. You have stages 7 and 8, where they shot the most recent season of Bel-Air, a dramatic reimagining of the classic sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Seasons 1 through 3 are currently streaming on Peacock. Here are two of the stars of that series, Jabari Banks and Ali Sholaton.
We're leaving the theme park behind and entering the front lot where real Hollywood magic is made. How? Well, inside the sound stages that surrounds us, we can create any kind of environment the script demands.
For the past 60 years, studio tour visitors have driven right by these buildings, and inside these walls, the sets from your favorite TV shows and movies have transported audiences anywhere the imagination can take you, even to a palatial mansion in Bel-Air.
When we film Bel-Air, we love coming out of the sound stages and seeing the trams filled with excited guests as they drive by.
So, keep an eye out.
You never know who.
Or what?
You'll see in the studio tour.
Bel-Air, one of the many television shows that currently shoots here on the lot. Our television history here at Universal dates back over 80 years ago. April 30th, 1939. That's where the New York City World's Fair we had our first live televised transmission. Now, since then, Universal Television has given you countless television series, bringing us all the way up to today. TV shows currently shoot here on the lot, like Bel-Air, Voice, American Ninja Warrior, Lopez versus Lopez, and Hacks. Just won the Emmy Award for Best Comedy Series, Outstanding Comedy Series at the Emmy Awards. Now, there are a couple of new shows that have been shooting here on the lot. Haven't even come out yet. One of them is called St. Denis Medical, workplace comedy series coming to NBC in November. It stars David Alan Grier, Wendy McClendon-Covey, Allison Tolman, and a brand new Ted Danson series coming to Netflix next month as well. It's called A Band on the Inside from executive producer Mike Shore. Actually shot it right over here. It said Stage 19 on your right. Stage 19 is also where Christopher Nolan shot scenes from his Oscar-winning film, Oppenheimer. And oh my goodness, our first celebrity sighting! It's Ted! Right over there. Yes, Ted. What up, Ted? I'm going to plug your show. Don't worry. Ted has a television series you can stream on Peacock right now. Season 1 of Ted is streaming. Season 2 of Ted is currently shooting on the lot right now. And just beyond Ted, to your left, these are our production bungalows, where some of Hollywood's top writers, producers, and directors work. Among them, folks over at Illumination, the animation production company behind those Despicable Me movies, The Secret Life of Pets. Also, Mark Platt Productions, they're bringing you the upcoming Wicked musical, opening in theaters everywhere. Next month, it stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. The master of suspense, Alfred Hitchcock, one of the most influential film directors of all time, director of Psycho, Birds, Rear Window, Vertigo. He worked out of Bungalow 5195, which we're going to pass by in just a moment. And you're going to know it's Hitchcock's Bungalow because, look, right over there, just outside the front door, they placed his famous profile to pay homage to him. His offices are currently occupied by the De Laurentiis production company. They brought Dr. Hannibal Lecter character to both big and small screens.
My name is Alfred Hitchcock.
Now, two of our newer sound stages are over here to your left, stages 25 and 26. Stage 25 is where they're currently shooting season 3 of Lopez versus Lopez, starring comedian George Lopez. All right, folks, it is official. We're about to take you onto the backlot.
We're about to cross the imaginary boundary onto the back lot, where we have exterior sets for many outdoor scenes. Over the last 60 years, studio tour guests have seen these locations turned into big cities, quiet suburbs, even that guy's hometown. Yeah, that guy. For countless movies and TV shows.
Hey, part 2. Get your legs inside the... Thank you. All right, so these are our metropolitan sets you're seeing to your left. These are among the most filmed sets on the planet, and they've doubled for so many different major cities and various movie productions throughout the years, including New York in The Amazing Spider-Man. 1930s New York City, that was the setting for one of the great scenes from the movie King Kong. Here's director of King Kong, Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. Action! I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, you know, prehistoric times.
All right, let's hear it for King Kong! King Kong saves the day. Thank you, King Kong. I love you. Now, you know, that epic battle that we all just witnessed back there was projected on some of the world's largest digital 3D screens. Those screens inside the stand over 40 feet tall, measure 180 feet long. The film was designed by Peter Jackson and his team at Weta Effects. The team at Weta, they won 7 Academy Awards for their special effects work on various movies throughout the years. They just won an Oscar last year for the work on Avatar, The Way of the Water. And hang on to those 3D glasses. You will be needing them a little bit later on.
With a private studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where people are looking. They're looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts, because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
Indeed. Well, welcome to our Metropolitan sets. We're driving through London Square right now. By the way, these are not buildings that you guys are seeing here on the backlot. They are what we call facades, the front and sides of buildings. And that's because that is all the camera really needs to see. We let your imagination fill in the rest. Now, some of these sets are also practical. That means they could shoot both interior and exterior shots. But what may appear to be brick and stone, that's another Hollywood illusion. It's merely foam, rubber, fiberglass, and plywood. Our Metro sets have doubled for all those different cities through the genius work of the art director and production designer. Just by changing the street signs, doing some set decorating in the windows, changing the street lights, picture cars, reimagining these sets. It could be in pretty much any major city you want it to be. Or even a different time period. If you know anything about the history of Universal Studios, you know that we found our earliest success in the horror genre. Classic monster movies like Frankenstein, Dracula, The Mummy, Bride of Frankenstein. Well, several years back, the studio commissioned this mural over here to your right. It's created by world-renowned street artist Tristan Eaton. It honors the legacy of those classic movies. Our legacy of horror films and monster movies stretches all the way back to 1931 with the release of Dracula. And it continues with the upcoming opening of the Dark Universe at Universal Epic Universe in Orlando next year. All right, fans of The Voice, rejoice. Check it out. Over here to your left, you're seeing stages 30 and 31. That is where they are currently shooting season 26 with a brand new coach. You know him, you love him. Snoop Dogg.
Studio tour. It's your boy Snoop Dogg. Did you know that the Universal Backlot is home of The Voice? That's right. We take right here on stage 31. Don't miss our incredible new season every Monday and Tuesday on NBC. See ya.
Hello.
Now that you've heard the rest, you can hear the best.
Who can be with the S and have this on your chest?
Snoop joins The Voice Monday and Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Snoop is not the only new coach on The Voice, so is Michael Bublé. He is the other new coach. And two returning coaches, Reba McEntire and Gwen Stefani. Reba, very hard at work right now. She's also shooting her sitcom Happy's Place right here on the Universal lot. It's a Little Europe. Isn't it beautiful? And Little Europe is great because it could be any part of Europe you want it to be. You want to go to France? Oui, bonjour. Welcome to France. Yes. Italy? Why not? Buongiorno. Ciao. Welcome to Italy. This could be any of those places, simply by changing the language on the signs, doing a little set decorating in the windows of these facades, changing the flag. It actually could be any part of the world. Yeah, Little Europe doubled as the Caribbean in Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl with Johnny Depp. It also doubled as the Middle East in the movie Jarhead with Jake Gyllenhaal. And it even served as the afterworld in the comedy series The Good Place, starring Kristen Bell.
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen anything this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Well, maybe it's not all that bad.
How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Yes, The Good Place from executive producer Mike Shore. Now, you know, Little Europe is also the birthplace of the horror film. Oh, yes, a lot of those monster movies we were talking about, they shot right here in Little Europe. Little Europe is where the mob of angry villagers were collecting their torches looking for the monster.
Bride of Frankenstein. The Mummy.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
The Invisible Man.
Phantom of the Opera.
Classic films. They're just brilliantly made.
That Frankenstein image, flathead, it's one of the great icons of the world.
That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film.
I was just mesmerized by this movie.
As a result of starring as the monster in Frankenstein, Boris Karloff became one of the most successful actors of the horror genre. And it was so good. Launched his career. Now, Bella and Boris, they did go on to work together in quite a few films thereafter, but it was often Boris Karloff that would be the star of the film. Bella, that would be the supporting character. Now, Bella, he did go on to play Frankenstein's monster in the movies. There he is, underneath all the makeup, and Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. All right, guys, I have some very exciting news. We just got a green light. We're going to take you onto one of our sound stages right now. Stage 50 is a very unique stage. As we head inside, a reminder to remain seated. We do not want to disturb anything inside here for continuity's sake. We've been shooting a big action movie here the last few weeks. As you can see, they dressed Stage 50 as a subway station. You can see the train tracks over there to your left. There's a full-size subway train docked in the tunnel at the very end, to the far right. Now, if you go up these stairwells on either side of the tram, it'll take you to the second floor. We just had a little shot. Oh! Hang on, hang on! Write it out, we'll be okay. Now, Earthquake the attraction was inspired by Earthquake the movie, the disaster classic starring Charlton Heston, Ava Gardner, and Richard Roundtree. Now, that movie is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. It was released in theaters November 15th, 1974. And it was supposed to be followed up by an even more terrifying film for the Christmas season that year, but due to production delays, that movie was postponed to the summer of 1975. That movie, of course, was Jaws. Now, spoiler alert, Jaws, our Jaws attraction here on the studio tour, as you can see, is undergoing its annual refurbishment.
They're fixing it.
Bruce, the mechanical shark, down there, is getting his nip tucked for the year. He is almost 50. What up, Bruce? Now, Bruce was one of the reasons why the movie Jaws was delayed from being released in 1974, because more often than not, he didn't work.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. The shark worked well enough. For a while there, it had the biggest hit of all time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
And true to form, he is not working right now, but he'll be back very soon. Now, Jaws, of course, was directed by Steven Spielberg, who has such a long history here at Universal. He's directed some of our biggest movies, going all the way back to Jaws, E.T., Jurassic Park. And before he directed some of our biggest movies, he actually directed some of the television shows he used to film here on the lot, including Columbo, Marcus Welby, MD, and the pilot episode for Rod Serling's Night Gallery. Now, Steven shot one of his movies right here in this next area of the backlot we're going to take you into. It's called Old Mexico. Shot scenes from Indiana Jones, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Harrison Ford here. And it's home to a studio tour classic. Here to tell you more about that is Al Roker.
Time for my favorite part of the tour, weather. When it comes to film and TV, it is truly a special effect. In fact, to demonstrate how weather effects are created, we debuted our first major attraction here on the studio tour way back in 1968. Welcome to the only part of the Backlot with a 100% chance of rain. The flash flood.
Gusher. I'm so proud of everybody. You just survived the flash flood weather effect, the very first special effect built specifically for the studio tour in 1968. And it pays homage to another opening day event here at the studio. Celebrate the gala opening of Universal in 1915. Our founder, Carl Laemmle, wanted the crew to demonstrate a dam break, but it didn't go according to plan. No, the water went out of control, soaking all of the celebrities and guests that attended that day, but made for a memorable afternoon. Now, you've seen our flash flood weather effect depicted in quite a few movie productions. Here it is in Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that.
It was also featured in the disaster classic Earthquake, as well as a music video from Lady Gaga's Judas, where she performed her own stunt standing in the pathway of the flash flood. All right, folks, we're going to take you on a tour of some of the suburban neighborhoods here on the Backlot. We have quite a few of them. In fact, the area where Jaws, or Bruce, currently resides is one of them. That's Cabot Cove, Maine. It was Cabot Cove, Maine, on the series Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury. She filmed here for 12 seasons. Elm Street. Elm Street's coming up here on your left. See a yellow house at the end of the block with a green rooftop? That was Boo Radley's house in the classic film To Kill a Mockingbird, starring Gregory Peck. On your right-hand side, that's our chicken ranch. That was Mona's Chicken Ranch from The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. It's a great example of what we call practical sets. You can shoot both interior and exterior shots, as opposed to the facade in back of the chicken ranch, which gets used as the front and side of the building. Over here to your left is the entrance to Colonial Street. Colonial Street was where classic TV sitcoms like The Munsters and Leave It to Beaver filmed. It was also Wisteria Lane on ABC's Desperate Housewives. It's where movies like The Burbs, Casper, and Candy Cane Lane filmed, as well as countless music videos and commercials. And we're heading up Steven Spielberg Drive right now. And Steven, he has his own street here on the Backlot because, once again, he has such a long history with Universal. The studio is where Steven got his start.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
All right, this is a great story. All right, so you guys are about to see some very famous picture cars. A picture car is any vehicle that is seen by the camera. And one of those picture cars is that Jeep Wrangler. That was John Hammond's Jeep Wrangler from Jurassic Park, a film directed by Steven. Now, Steven isn't the only director that Universal has a long history with. I mentioned one of them earlier on in the tour, Alfred Hitchcock. Of course, had his bungalow here on the lot. And, well, just around this corner, you're about to see the sets from one of his most iconic films. The Bates Motel and the Psycho House from Alfred Hitchcock's classic thriller Psycho, starring Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. Now that house up there in the hill, that is the original house from the 1960 classic. When Psycho was released in theaters in 1960, it was a groundbreaking film. It featured an all-string score by composer Bernard Herrmann. And this piece of music from the score has become ubiquitous. One of the most recognizable pieces of music in movie history. Of course, it conjures up an image of Janet Leigh taking a shower. That scene took 78 different shots to film. Psycho is also groundbreaking in its use of a toilet. The first American film to feature a flushing toilet. What? No. It's Norman. He's home. Okay, guys, do me a favor. Do not look him in the eye when we pass by. Just keep your head down. You'll be okay. Okay, just pretend like he's not there. I told you guys not to look. Norman, put the knife away. Mother needs you. Daryl, step on the gas. You okay, car 4? Woo, that was close. Well, this next neighborhood we're going to tour has definitely seen better days. The spectacular plane crash set site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise. That is an actual 747 jumbo jet you see over there. It was destroyed specifically for this incredible scene from the film.
The airplane crash site is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision of Steven.
He said to sit down and talk about War of the World. I thought, what if the 747 goes down lightning? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good.
Let me get in.
We are approximately 10 minutes from the end of our tour. We will be returning to the theme park shortly. Remember to pull the emergency cord if you need any assistance. Please remain seated on the tram at all times. Now, these War of the World sets, they were created by Oscar-winning production designer Rick Carter, who's collaborated with Steven on many of his films throughout the years. Their first collaboration was over 30 years ago, the first Jurassic Park movie. Now, throughout our history, we've been very fortunate to work with generation-defining directors like Steven Spielberg, Alfred Hitchcock. Now there's a whole new generation of filmmakers making their mark in the industry. One of them is Academy Award-winning writer-director Jordan Peele. We're about to take you to Jupiter's Claim, the actual sets from his latest film, Nope. Here to tell you more about these sets, the writer-director himself, Jordan Peele.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Sheriff. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Well, I do. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Oh, it's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of a gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. It is smack dab in the center of a UFO hotspot. What's a bad miracle? You're about to find out. Welcome to the world of no.
That's right. Happy trains. Can't stay here. Come back here. Till then, hasta la vista. Adios.
Yeah, I think we're gonna take that advice and get out. In just a few moments. Get Out. Such a good movie. All right, guys, we are gonna take you to a part of the backlot where we once had an attraction called the Doomed Glacier Expedition, better known as the Ice Tunnel. Featured in an episode of The $6 Million Man starring Lee Majors with Andre the Giant there as Bigfoot. The tram would climb to an imaginary elevation of 12,000 feet, and the only way back to the theme park was through the ice tunnel, where the slightest sound could trigger an avalanche. And it always did, causing the walls to spin and the guests to tilt, along with the Hollywood special effects. Well, from tilting to drifting, it's about to get fast and furious.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you with Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
All right, look, guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone can give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bag and we'll meet you in a minute.
This is what we're doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move.
Leon?
That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out. Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of this.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back.
Man.
It was on vibrate. Shaw traced us. Ops can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
All right, we're gonna move into this parking structure. Just so that we should be safe in here. Just to be super safe, put on those glasses and remain seated. once again our master of ceremonies, Jimmy Fallon.
Over the past 6 decades, the studio tour has taken guests on an amazing behind-the-scenes look at a movie studio in a way that only Universal can. I hope that you had a great time today, and on behalf of everyone at NBC Universal, thank you for joining us to celebrate our diamond anniversary. Here's to another 60 years.
Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you for celebrating 60 years of the studio tour with us. For 6 decades, we've given you an insider look into Hollywood, from TV's first golden age to our current era of streaming and binge watching your favorite shows. As movies get bigger on the big screen, we have given you exclusive access to ride the movies, no matter how much entertainment changes or how we experience it. We'll be here at the studio tour to show you how it's done. Now, to our past members, thank you so much for visiting us again. If you're not a past member, visit the Universal box office where you can upgrade to an annual pass, come back again and again. Be sure to download the Universal Studios Hollywood app. Get up to the minute wait times for all of our rides and attractions, and show times for Waterworld and Live Sea War Spectacular. Confirm park hours. We're open until 8 p.m. tonight. To purchase any of the Universal titles that you saw here on the studio tour, movies, TV shows, visit www.uphe.com or visit any of our retail stores for more information. Looks like we do have some tram traffic. It'll be a few more moments before we head back to our plaza. Now's a great time to look around, make sure you have all of your belongings, make sure nothing fell out of your pockets. We'll be heading into the plaza in just a moment, but taking this beautiful view to your right, you can see most of our backlot just below us. We have over 400 acres of property here at Universal. We're the biggest studio in Hollywood. But you can actually see some of our arrivals, we'll call them. Just beyond our backlot, you could see our neighbors, the Warner Brothers studios. Those are the tan buildings with the curved rooftops and the water tower. The Animaniacs live. And just beyond the Warner Brothers studios, you could see the Walt Disney Studios, another water tower out there. And of course, they all look up to us here at Universal Studios, quite literally. All right, folks, thank you for your patience. While we wait to go back to the plaza, why not jam?
Bring the noise.
What do you have in here?
All right, guys, let's release the blues riff and beat. Watch me for the changes and try to keep up, okay?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
She don't rip it down the rain. She knows how to shake that thing down. You know you make me wanna.
All right, folks, we're heading into the Plaza now. On behalf of myself, your tour guide, Justin, our driver, Daryl. Let's give Daryl one more big round of applause for driving us on the lot today. Thank you, Daryl. And everyone else here at Universal Studios, thank you so much for taking the tour. As we say in Hollywood, that's a wrap. Enjoy the rest of your day.